In this lesson, we will talk about manually adjusting the staffing as a real-time coordinator in EEM. Manual adjustments to the staff are very commonplace, especially when we analyze our performance and we determine that we need to have more people involved and we need to make some offers, whether they are time off or overtime. So in order to make these adjustments, we have two places where we can interact with the system to perform this particular manual adjustments. So the first one is our manual adjust staffing button, which sits under adjust staffing. And another way to do this is by looking at the weekly tab, selecting a specific period for a specific day. We can just do our click and drag for specific periods, and the system will let us adjust the staffing from here as well. Once we click on Manual Adjust Staffing, the system will present a window with settings that we can use to select where we want to find our people for this particular override, if you will. So first thing is going to be selecting our line of business. Next thing we will need to do is select the program for which we want to apply this adjustment. If necessary, we can go as deep as selecting the contact type name as well. The next thing I will need to do is select the type of offer that I want to make or what exactly I'm going to be needing. I can base this on the analysis of the intervals or anything that I need at the moment. So we have the ability to offer extra hours, which could be either normal extra hours or overtime, or we can just go as simple as offering some time off. Let's click on time off this time around. The next thing I'm going to need to select is the date for which I want this adjustment or this offer to be made. In this case, we can set it to this day, for example. The next thing I will need to select is the start and end times, of course. I'm going to just keep this a little bit open in this case. And then I will need to select the number of agents that I need. In this case, it could be as little as either 5 or 10, depending on my staffing. That's what I'm going to be offering. The next thing is something that will be familiar that comes from the creation of a program. And this is what we call the agent selection criteria. So if I want to tell the system exactly who I am aiming at giving this opportunity, I can use this agent selection criteria in different ways. I will need to first determine which one I want to use. In this case, I'm going to use a very simple one for agent deployment status. I'm going to try to find full-timers in this case. And the next thing I'm going to do is determine in which order the system is going to look at this criteria. I can use more than one criteria to find the specific people, to target specific people in this case. Now below, I'm just going to need to select the response time in minutes. This could be either 10, 15 minutes. Normally, you want to go with either a 15 minutes to half an hour. In this case, I'm going to be selecting half an hour. You have here the code that EM is going to use to write on the person's schedule in the WFM system. In this case, since I'm offering time off, it's going to be using the EEM voluntary time off code. The other thing I'll need to select is the shift threshold. In this case, I'm going to go with a default one, and I'm going to be overriding the preferences because this could be a hinder should I get this opportunity out. Because if I don't tell the system to override the preferences, then that's going to make it a little bit harder for a list of eligible agents to pop up. So I'm just going to override those preferences this time. Once we have made this request, all we need to do is click on the OK button, and the system will tell me that a request has been sent and that all I'll need to do is check the notifications that this request will produce and go from there to select the specific agents I want this opportunity to be available for. These manual staff adjustments should produce alerts that we can see to as real-time coordinators and go from there to select the specific agents we want to get this opportunity to. And as an agent, I am able to see the opportunity being available here for me. So I can go ahead and take this particular opportunity. I can either remove the hours, adjust the time, or I can just dismiss it if I am not interested in this opportunity. In this case, I'm just going to click these remove hours. And what the system is going to say is that this time off opportunity will be taken. And subsequently, if I take a look at my schedule later on for the specific day, we will see that as new notifications come by, for example, I get my notification saying that my schedule has been adjusted based on the acceptance of that opportunity. I should see after a quick refresh that the opportunity has been taken and that that information will be ultimately available in my schedule. At this point, the system would have removed those hours from my schedule, and this is how manual adjust staffing works.